What is going on, gamers? My name is Joe and this is Gameplay Asylum. Today I have some multiplayer gameplay on the newly released title from THQ called Homefront. This video is basically going to cover my first impressions on multiplayer for Homefront, a few tips I've learned so far in my first few matches, and hopefully it'll help you make a decision on whether or not you should go out and buy this game if you don't already own it. On a side note though, it is 5:26 p.m. and I know you're probably wondering why I'm telling you this. I have not slept yet, so please excuse me if I tend to ramble on, mumble, or even fall asleep, but hopefully this monster will keep me up through the commentary. Alright, so let's dig in. So right now I'm playing ground control, and for those who are not aware of what this is, I'm going to do my best to explain how you play it, or how you should play it. First off, there are 16 players on each team, or in this case 8 players on each team because I'm playing under the skirmish playlist. The main objective of it is to capture up to 3 points and hold them longer than your enemy. I mean, you should be familiar with this if you have played Domination on Black Ops or played any game modes in Battlefield Bad Company 2. But what sets ground control apart from a domination type game is once your team wins the first half by holding the points longer than your enemy, you force the enemy to retreat to a new position and a new set of capture points are available. And if you have to win 2 in a row, and if you each win 1, then there's a tiebreaker at the end. I kind of like this gameplay because it feels like that you're playing on more than one map instead of just taking down one area of the whole match. So yeah, I definitely like that. Now a few tips for ground control from what I gathered so far. Obviously, the more players capturing an objective, the faster it will be captured. There we go. Be sure to help out your team and assist in capturing the points, because when you capture a point, you're actually rewarded with a decent amount of battle points, and I'll actually touch base with battle points in a few seconds. Always make sure that capping is kind of your team and your main priority. And if you can, it's actually more rewarding as far as battle points goes if you kill an enemy on the capturing points or near it, but don't wait for him to jump on it and then end up choking and dying and him capturing it. So as I was talking about, THQ added a battle point system into this game, which basically allows the player to create some interesting and strategic choices throughout the gameplay depending on their playstyle. Simple way to describe the system would be it's like an in-game economy system. As you can see in the lower right hand corner, I currently have the flak jacket and a personal UAV sweep customized for this class. There are a lot of choices like airstrikes, drones, weapons, ammo, or even vehicles and aircrafts. To purchase these items, you need to build up your points. As you see, I have 820 points right now. Building up points is as easy as killing an enemy, blowing up an enemy vehicle, capturing a point, getting a kill near a point, getting an assist, or even, get this, having a death streak. Due to this short match and video, I can't go too much into detail, but just kind of play around with customizing your classes based on what you think would fit your play the best. As always, class customization includes the basics, choosing your primary weapon, attachments, secondary, and then abilities, which would be best explained as perks if you're aware of that in Black Ops, and then you have your grenades, equipment, and so on. Now that I talked a little bit about the objective of the game, I want to show out my personal opinions on Homefront. I don't really like comparing games because I feel as if each game should be taken in on its own, but if someone were to ask me to compare Homefront to something, I would say if you mix Battlefield, Bad Company 2, and Black Ops together, out would come Homefront. There are a lot of similarities to all these titles and FPS games in general, but thankfully Homefront brought something new to the table with a few unique features. One feature you might have noticed is when I respawn, whether it's in the very beginning of the map, a new match, or when I die, it shows you a quick overview of the map. You get an aerial view. and this is epic. This gets an A+ in my book for a few reasons. You can see where all the action is happening on the battlefield, because obviously if you just died, you need to open your eyes, so you'll be able to see that for a split second. You'll see where your team is, where you're spawning if you're not too familiar with the map, and the best part about it is knowing if an enemy is close by, if you see a red dot beside you, because I know you're probably the same as I am. I can't count how many times I spawn in an FPS game and get shot in the back 3 seconds later. Another choice I believe that THQ made on purpose is the button layout, and long story short, what I'm talking about is there's no tactical option available, and crouch and prone can only be assigned to the B button. This annoyed me at first because obviously drop shotting is the main thing, and I'm guilty of drop shotting in certain situations on Black Ops, but after I played a few matches online on Homefront without getting drop shotted myself from the enemy, it kind of made sense, and I support their choice now, and that's why they did it. I've heard a lot of people complain about graphics on the game, that it's not up to par, it's not high enough. Personally, I don't mind them. Yeah, sure, they could have spent more time on making epic, over-the-top graphics, but I'd honestly rather have solid gameplay than eye candy, because the solid gameplay is what makes you not rage. Okay, so the question is, if you don't have this game, should you cough up the money? My answer is, if you have extra money laying around, this is definitely a great game investment. I wouldn't be too concerned about going out and getting it this second after the video, because the multiplayer servers are still a little buggy and it's hard to connect. It's kind of frustrating in a way, but it kind of always happens. I hate to say that it's expected, but it kind of is expected for every new game release. But I'm actually surprised at how addicted I am, because I wasn't a big fan of Battlefield 2, and this is definitely addicting. I jumped on Black Ops, and I'm like, nah, I wanna jump back on Homefront. So I've been playing this for a while, and maybe besides, with 16-player teams, I know your friends are probably gonna want you to get the game so you can party up with 16 versus 16 in a party and pub stomp kids. Well, this video is coming to an end, and I didn't get a chance to go over half what I wanted to, but if you enjoyed this video or learned anything from it, please click the like button and leave a comment. I'm kind of new to making commentaries, so any support or constructive criticism will go a long way. Alright, thanks for watching my video.